888-882-1354. Visit nexacreditunion.com or email loans@nexacreditunion.com.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd. The news headlines comes to you compliments Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Monday, May the 12th of 2025. I'm Stasia Blake. In the headlines tonight, High Court judge facing assault charge temporarily removed from duties. Sexual offense brochure launched as part of a public education campaign to raise awareness about sexual offenses. Grenada urged to reform criminal code to legalize abortion. And the United States reactivates 2 key emergency support programs aimed at bolstering disaster preparedness and response across the Caribbean. In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's former police commissioner cleared following firearm permit probe. While internationally, U.S. and China reach agreement to cut tariffs. Coming up in sports, upsetters crowned champions of GCA NLA T20 Championship. We'll have all the details for you right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, or ECSC, has confirmed that Justice Sean Innocent, currently assigned to the No. 2 Criminal Court in Grenada, has been charged with the indictable offense of assault with a deadly instrument under Section 176E of Grenada's Criminal Code. According to an official statement issued by the ECSC in the charge, it was laid on April 28th. Justice Innocent, who was granted bail, is expected to appear in court to formally respond to the allegation. Additional details relating to his bail or the circumstances surrounding the charge have not been publicly disclosed by the Royal Grenada Police Force. In response to the development, the ECSC has temporarily derostered Justice Innocent and announced that a replacement judge will assume his duties effective June 1st, 2025 to ensure the continued function of the criminal court in Grenada. The ECSC is approaching this matter with the utmost seriousness, being mindful of Justice Innocent's fundamental rights under the Constitution, while reaffirming its dedication to upholding the rule of law and maintaining the integrity of the judiciary, the statement has read. Efforts by GBN to obtain additional information from local authorities have so far been unsuccessful, but this is a developing story. More details will be provided as they become available. Grenada takes a bold step towards justice and protection with the launch of a powerful new tool to combat sexual offenses. Rena Pierre-Thomas attended the launch and filed this report.
The Supreme Court Criminal Justice Reform Committee has officially launched its new sexual offense brochure as part of a public education campaign to raise awareness about sexual offenses under Grenadian law. The brochure offers vital information on how to identify, prevent, and report sexual offenses. Emphasis is placed on protecting minors, who tragically represents a significant percentage of the victims in Grenada. Recent data reveals that 75% of criminal cases on the island involve violent and sexual offenses, with children and teenagers being the most affected. Chair of the Criminal Justice Reform Committee, Justice Paula Guilford, spoke about the rationale for the brochure.
Therefore, the committee viewed raising awareness about these crimes as a crucial intervention mechanism to prevent individuals from becoming either victims or perpetrators. Therefore, as a body, we found it prudent to engage in this educational program and public awareness campaign to help inform individuals about the consequences of committing these crimes. Hopefully, this initiative, particularly this campaign by the Criminal Justice Reform Committee, will empower individuals to recognize and report such crimes, support victims, and make potential offenders aware of the legal consequences of committing these offenses.
Attorney General Claudia Joseph also reaffirmed the government's commitment to legal sector reform. She called for renewed dialogue about the establishment of a dedicated sexual offences court.
One of the things I would like for us to resume and to bring to fruition is the efforts we started in 2023 for the establishment of a special sexual offences court, recognizing the sensitivity of these matters and the particular vulnerability of the victims of sexual offences. So I would like us to resume that work. This area of neglect that the criminal justice system has been experiencing. And as I said before, our ministry, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, is committed to supporting all the efforts of the committee in whatever way we can.
President of the Grenada Bar Association, Francis Paul, welcomed the brochure as a critical step towards public engagement and systematic change.
What the committee is doing is addressing the elephant in the room. And that elephant is the prevalence of sexual offenses in Grenada. It has been there for a while. We try to pretend that is not there. It affects our society. It affects our youth, particularly the female population, because most of these offenses are perpetrated on young female. A lot of the offenders, again, are also young people. So it's very timely and important to have this awareness now, focusing on young people.
This initiative marks a significant step in ongoing justice reform efforts, emphasizing the importance of public awareness and legal education. The committee urges all Grenadians to read and share the brochure to help protect the vulnerable, support survivors, and strengthen justice for all. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Grenada has received recommendations to amend its criminal code to legalize abortion under all circumstances, following a wide-ranging review of its human rights record during the 2025 Universal Periodic Review, or UPR, conducted last week in Geneva. The push to legalize abortion was among 171 recommendations made to Grenada, with Iceland taking a leading role in advocating for significant reforms. Under Section 234 of Grenada's Criminal Code, whoever intentionally and unlawfully causes abortion or miscarriage shall be liable to imprisonment for 10 years. Repealing this section is one of 6 recommendations made by Iceland.
Iceland welcomes the delegation of Grenada and its national report. In the spirit of constructive engagement, Iceland recommends the following. 1. Abolish the death penalty. 2. Ratify the second operational protocol of the ICCPR. 3. Adopt the reproductive health rights policy, ensuring impactful, sustainable and equitable action on sexual and reproductive health and rights. 4. Amend the criminal code to legalize abortion under all circumstances. 5. Eliminate barriers to justice for GBV survivors by abolishing the requirement for third-party cooperation in sexual violence cases. 6. Provide comprehensive sexuality education in schools. 7. Decriminalize same-sex relations between consenting adults by repealing Articles 430 and 431 of the Criminal Code. 8. Introduce comprehensive anti-discrimination laws and ensure legal protection for persons of diverse societies. I wish Grenada all success for its review. I thank you.
It's also being recommended that Grenada sign and ratify the second optional protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and adopt a reproductive health policy which will ensure impactful, sustainable, and equitable action on reproductive rights. In addition, Grenada is being encouraged to provide comprehensive sexual education in schools, decriminalize same-sex relations between consenting adults by repealing Articles 430 and 431 of the Criminal Code, and produce comprehensive, updated anti-discrimination laws. The Grenada government is expected to respond to the recommendations and outline which measures it intends to adopt ahead of the final UPR report. Working towards a national social protection policy, stakeholders convened Monday at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort to examine Grenada's safety protection system. Rosalina John reports.
The Ministry of Social Development, in collaboration with UNICEF and a number of other stakeholders, met on Monday to examine Grenada's safety protection system. Chrissy Warm-Charles, Director for Social Development, says the discussion is part of efforts by the ministry to build upon its social protection frameworks and safety nets and develop a coordinated approach to service delivery.
Oftentimes we find that we have a lot of us working in silos. So this very important meeting is to bring all the key stakeholders together, have basic discussions as to what it is that they provide, so that all of the resources can be pooled together so that we can have the necessary impact that we want in terms of reaching the most vulnerable. So we're also looking at the legislative reform component of it, because social protection is a right to our citizens. They have a right to access. They have a right to ensure that, the quality of life is at a certain standard.
Warm-Charles said mapping the social protection intervention also formed part of today's exercise, with the end game being the development of a national social protection policy. Their aim is to ensure that no one is left behind.
We're working towards developing our policies, right? So as we go deeper, we'll be doing some more investigations in terms of where we are at, right? And I'm going to be developing our roadmap, to get us where we need to be, because Grenada needs a social protection policy. So we're working assiduously towards that. So that's the end game for today.
One of the ministry's key social partners is UNICEF. Jemiah Wilson, a social policy officer with UNICEF Eastern Caribbean office, said what stood out for her most was the willingness and commitment of stakeholders. She added that UNICEF is there to provide the necessary support and guide the process.
The UNICEF Eastern Caribbean area, we've been working to actively support the countries within this region, especially Grenada. We've been providing technical support to help with the strengthening of the social protection system. So here today, what we're focused on is really to start a process that will help us to assess the system's strength, to see where the gaps are, where the strengths are as well, so that we know where we can scale up in times of emergency. And we're also doing a legal review to understand the legal framework that backs the system and where we can strengthen it. So for us, this is why we're here. We're doing it for the marginalized, for persons who don't usually have a voice. They are at the center of everything we do, and we have an opportunity to ensure that they can receive the social protection that they deserve. And this is why we do what we do at UNICEF. And we know as well that among the most vulnerable are the children. Your recent poverty report shows that most households below the poverty line, there are a number of children, and we want to make sure that children are well served.
Christina John.
This is News at 7. Coming up, the United States reactivates 2 key emergency support programs aimed at bolstering disaster preparedness and response across the Caribbean. Stay with us.
Do you have multiple loan payments? Is your debt weighing you down? Ariza has the solution. Simplify your loan with Ariza's Simplify Loan promotion. Now you can combine all your payments into one easy, manageable loan. Enjoy lower interest rates, flexible repayment terms, and more cash in hand for what truly matters. Less stress, more freedom. Live comfortably while reaching your financial goals. Ariza helps you simplify your life because you deserve financial freedom. Apply now. Visit any Ariza branch or WhatsApp us at 423-4987.
Need to check your bill balance? Use the Grenlec mobile app. Open the Grenlec mobile app and tap the icon labeled Balances at the bottom of the screen. View your bill details, including your current bill balance, the due date by which you must settle your bill, the amount and date of the last payment you made. It's quick, easy, and available 24/7. Convenience at your fingertips.
Have you ever wondered how you can benefit from the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Program? Then IMA Grenada invites you to its public forum on May 13th at 5:30 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Regulations have changed to create more space for local participation, for local developers and those who want to become local developers to tap into new opportunities. Hear from top experts from the CBI Committee, IMA Grenada, and GIDC. This is your opportunity to learn the process, ask your questions, and learn how to be involved. So don't miss this chance. Remember, Grenada Trade Center at 5:30 p.m. on May 13th. See you there.
Climate change is real. Storms are getting stronger and droughts are lasting longer. Are you prepared for what's ahead? At Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, we want to help you protect your investments. Build for the future with a BFF loan. Make climate-smart upgrades and strengthen your home to withstand nature's unpredictability. Get 100% financing to build or purchase a home or make additions to your existing structure. Enjoy discounts on related loan fees and special benefits when you choose climate-resilient solutions. We are also offering financing of up to $50,000 unsecured for your home upgrades. Invest in renewable energy, energy-efficient appliances, water storage, and so much more. The time is now to ensure your investments can withstand climate change. Invest in your home, protect your family, and secure your future with a BFF loan. You have a BFF in Co-op Bank. Visit our website for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome home. Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard in me. 4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Anse, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited.
Hey parents, We all know children don't come with manuals, but you can step up your parenting game. Join the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Grenada National Council of the Disabled for an incredible series of community engagement. Discover essential topics like child abuse prevention, understanding discipline versus punishment, building healthy relationships, mastering parenting in the electronic era. Catch us in your community nightly from 6 to 8, starting in the community of River Sally on Monday, May 12th, at the River Sally Government School, Tuesday, May 13th, at the Mount Horn Community Center, Wednesday, May 14th, at the Willis Community Center, on Monday, May 19th, at the Anglican Government School in the community of St. John, and in the community on St. David on Tuesday, May 20th, at the Pomrose School. Enhance your parenting skills and create a brighter future for your children. Join us and step up today. Brought to you by the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
It happens to all of us. Low on cash and in need of money right away. Play Instacash Monday to Sunday and there are no draws.
So what you saying? No numbers to choose from?
Nope.
And no draw sessions to wait on?
Nope.
And we can play it anytime and any day?
Yep, including Sundays. Instacash. Ask for it by name and choose from a wide variety of games as low as $2 and win instantly. It is fast, it is easy to play, and you win cash right away. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Home is easy, easy with Republic Bank.
Are you dreaming of owning your own home? With Republic Bank's Home Easy Loan, you're one step closer to making that dream a reality. With competitive rates, reduced fees, and up to 100% financing, Republic Bank makes owning your home simple and stress-free. Start your journey to independence, empowerment, and the joy of home ownership today.
Republic Bank, we're bringing home to you. Home easy. It's not just a mortgage, it's peace of mind.
Terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
No, girl, that was yesterday. I can't believe all they said that. She didn't.
Mom, can you help me, please? I'm having some trouble understanding.
No, you serious?
Mom, can you help me, please?
So y'all sit down and say that? Okay then, bye. Here! Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's ensure that you're well prepared for this exam.
Parents, you have a crucial role to play in helping to prepare your children for the CPEA exams. Help them or seek additional help so that they can revise the concepts they learn at school and give them a better chance to be successful and move on to the next phase of their lives. A message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell joined fellow OECS heads of government and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio for a high-level meeting on Tuesday to address a range of critical regional issues, including the recent imposition of U.S. trade tariffs, migration, and security concerns. This report from Beverly Telesford.
The meeting followed earlier talks in March between Secretary Rubio and 6 CARICOM leaders held before President Donald Trump signed an executive order introducing a sweeping 10% tariff on all U.S. imports, including from CARICOM member states. The order also enforces steeper tariffs on other countries, with China facing the highest rates. The May 6 discussions provided Caribbean leaders a platform to directly raise concerns about the economic impact of the tariffs. Talks also focused on trade imbalances, the role of Cuban medical personnel, transnational crime, migration, and China's growing presence in the region. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit stated that Caribbean leaders reaffirmed their commitment to work with the United States to support legal migration pathways.
Of course, the issue of the illegal immigration was spoken about, and of course we're not at variance with the United States in respect to their immigration policies. Clearly, the immigration policies which are being implemented by the United States government is no different to that of every country in the world. And we have committed to working with them with an effort towards reducing, if not eliminating, illegal migration within our hemisphere. But we also urge the Secretary of State, and of course by extension the U.S. government, to ensure that they continue to facilitate legal migration by the provision of visas to students, to visitors, the various work programs, and of course we believe that this will continue.
Regarding the presence of Cuban medical teams, regional leaders emphasized the importance of these professionals to their public health systems.
We explained to him how this is operating within our countries, and I believe he understands that. So I do not see any threat to the Cuban medical programs which we all have within our countries.
They clarified that the doctors are paid directly, while governments pay a facilitation fee to the Cuban government, similar to standard arrangements for international medical missions.
We have these programs. They are based on international standards. The human rights of every person who is participating in this program is protected. They work under best international practices, the International Labour Organization standards. They've been paid their salaries and their wages like everyone else.
On the issue of China, Caribbean officials approached the topic with measured language. Countries with diplomatic and economic ties to China reiterated their right to pursue broad-based development partnership. Leaders stressed that these relationships are focused on economic cooperation, not ideological alignment, and reaffirmed that their only military alliances are with the United States and fellow CARICOM states. The meeting concluded with a mutual agreement to continue dialogue on key regional issues amid evolving global economic and geopolitical shifts. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Meanwhile, with the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season fast approaching and forecasters predicting above-average activity, the United States has announced the reactivation of 2 key emergency support programs aimed at bolstering disaster preparedness and response across the Caribbean.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio made the announcement during a high-level meeting with heads of government from the Eastern Caribbean and the Bahamas on May 6th. Grenadian Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, who participated in the meeting, shared the update while briefing members of the Grenadian diaspora in Washington, D.C.
Various issues happening in Grenada. We're in May, if you can believe it already, so June will make it 1 year since Hurricane Beryl would have hit us, and so we're very mindful of the need to make sure that we can ramp up our preparations for the hurricane season. And in many respects, we're happy that Secretary Rubio has agreed to reinstate the funding for hurricane preparedness, because you may or may not be aware that we rely on the U.S. for assistance with predicting and tracking the paths of the hurricanes, and the Hunter planes which fly into the eye of the hurricanes are really what gives us the kind of accurate data to predict what happens. And obviously, if we're hitting the Caribbean, it's almost guaranteed that Florida is going to be hit by any of the storms. That's where they tend to. Florida is literally the graveyard of most of the hurricanes that come through. And so it was important for that collaboration to continue, and so we're grateful for that.
Prime Minister Mitchell also announced that Grenada will utilize $5.3 million in assistance received earlier this year from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to further support preparedness and resilience initiatives.
So we are in the midst of making sure that we can ramp up our preparation for the hurricane season. Our dear friends, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, recently donated substantial aid to support hurricane preparedness and relief, from generators to chainsaws to forklifts, and we are planning on pre-positioning these throughout the island. I hope, obviously, that we don't have to use them come the hurricane season. But outside of hurricanes, we're susceptible to droughts, to flash flooding, and all of those. So we still obviously have to be prepared for some of that.
The announcement comes as meteorologists issue early warnings for another potentially hectic hurricane season. On April 3rd, researchers at Colorado State University released their annual outlook forecasting 17 named storms for the 2025 season. Of those, 9 are expected to become hurricanes, including 4 major hurricanes with sustained winds exceeding 111 miles per hour, or Category 3 or higher. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
In an effort to open new doors for local developers and strengthen the role of Grenadians in the country's investment migration program, the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada will host a landmark symposium this Tuesday, May the 13th. The event is themed Grenadian Innovation Creating Local Opportunities Through Investment Migration. It aims to highlight the direct benefits of the Citizenship by Investment program for Grenadian developers and entrepreneurs. The symposium will feature insights from key stakeholders, including Chairman of the CBI Committee, Richard Duncan, Chief Executive Officer of IMA Grenada, Thomas Anthony, and GIDC Chief Executive Officer, Ronald Theodore. According to Deputy CEO of IMA Grenada, Carleen Purcell, she said attendees can expect to gain valuable insights into how local projects can become part of the CBI program.
Tomorrow's symposium is really going to treat with the new regulations that have been put in place, which allows local investors to become developers of CBI-approved projects at actually a lower cost. We have lowered quite a bit of the barriers to entry by lowering the application fees, the equity requirement, and also the cost associated with the due diligence required for entering the program. So persons who are interested in developing projects and becoming part of the CBI approved projects program, they can now actively get engaged.
Purcell says the symposium will also explore financing mechanisms and partnership models that can connect Canadian developers with global investors.
So it's the developers. When we're speaking about local persons, we're asking them to become developers, right? So the developers are the ones that bring the project ideas forward, and what happens, the investors, so the persons outside of Grenada that you're looking to attract, they would be the ones investing into your project, because what this does is provide you with a different form of equity financing for your project. Right? So persons, anybody out there that's local, that's Grenadian, that's a Grenadian citizen, can come forward and hear all that it takes to become an approved project and what the process entails in terms of applying.
The IMA Grenada Symposium will take place on Tuesday, May the 13th at the Grenada Trade Center, starting at 5:30 p.m. Local developers, entrepreneurs, and anyone with a project to bring to life are encouraged to attend and be part of the conversation shaping Grenada's development future. Now, strong words tonight from opposition leader Emmeline Pierre, who's urging the government to take immediate and decisive action to rescue Grenada's struggling agriculture sector. Details in this Nisha Paul report.
Emmeline Peer, the political leader of the main opposition New National Party, or NNP, described the state of agriculture in Grenada as a crisis spiraling out of control. Peer acknowledged that the Marketing and National Importing Board, the MNIB, has long been plagued by poor management, but she says despite repeated promises from the government, little has been done to revitalize the sector.
Of the $67 million budgeted for agriculture in 2024, $26 million went unspent, and the 2025 allocation was slashed by $30 million. Less than half of the $1 million for farm roads was used. Less than half of the budgeted amount for poultry was spent. And to make matters worse, the budget for 2025 was cut by 50%.
Her comments come nearly 2 months after Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall announced the formation of a new company to replace the MNIB, one that includes 60% private investment.
A new company, Import Export Agromat Limited, has been established to replace the MNIB. The legal and financial experts are developing a prospectus and legal arrangements to engage a suitable strategic partner and have new entity up and running before the end of the third quarter of 2025.
Pierre is demanding transparency on the new model and insists that farmers were left out of the decision-making process. In the meantime, the opposition leader is calling on the government to release much-needed disaster relief funds and to restore critical support systems for agriculture, including extension services and market access.
As leader of His Majesty's opposition, I stand firmly with our farmers, calling on the government to activate the new MNIB with a transparent, time-bound work plan, genuine farmer equity in ownership, and clear performance matrix. I'm calling for the payment to all farmers who are affected by Hurricane Beryl but are yet to receive any benefits from the $118 million PRIF payout. I'm calling for increased spending in critical areas like farmer roads, poultry support, youth in agriculture, sargassum management, and other critical areas necessary in this sector.
As concerns mount over the future of Grenada's agriculture sector, the pressure is now on the government to act swiftly, and farmers, stakeholders, and the wider public will be watching closely to see if promises turn into progress. Reporting for GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
A civil rights delegation from the United States is heading to Grenada this week on a mission to honor a woman whose legacy helped shape one of the most powerful voices in Black history. Nisha Paul has the details.
Her name was Lois Langdon Little, the mother of Malcolm X, and she was born right here in Grenada in La Digue, St. Andrew. From May 14th to the 18th, a delegation of U.S. civil rights leaders will visit Grenada for a series of events, including youth programs, cultural exchange, and economic development talks. Paul Ann Patterson, consultant and executive assistant to the President of the United States-based Institute of the Black World 21st Century, says the trip is not just to pay tribute, but to recognize the roots of greatness that began with Lois Little.
We connected with the owner of the land, the family who's been doing the work on the ground, Mr. Terrence Wilson, and we did a quick tribute for the significance of the martyrdom of Malcolm's martyrdom at that time in February. We also decided that this is so important to help us further to understand our importance and our history as Grenadians, and also how it connects to the larger global Black diaspora. Although Malcolm X was a civil rights leader in the U.S., his roots stem directly here from a beautiful island of Grenada. Grenada. There's so many things we can be proud of as Grenadians, and this is just an additional element. So the delegation coming in understands the significance of who Malcolm X was, the importance of his family, the importance of his history, and they're coming here just to help amplify and honor the woman, the Grenadian woman, Louise Langdon Mitchell, who stood in her own right as an activist, as a leader herself.
The highlight of the week will be a ceremony in La Digue on Saturday, May 17th, marking the site of the Little Family Homestead and efforts to preserve its historical significance.
In many other cultures, land like this would be considered sacred, and we want to be able to just help in terms of uplifting the sanctity of the space, of who she is, and also in connection to who her son was. Not know how it's going to go or where it's going to lead, but hopefully it can become site for Grenada, a cultural heritage site that is recognized. And as an organization, we do know that the family has their plans in terms of what they would like to see. They would really like this to be something that can be used for the Grenadian people, for education, for other forms of learning, and to uplift the community.
This follows a special ceremony recognizing the Grenadian roots of Malcolm X on family land in February. It also comes days ahead of a historic milestone, the 100th birthday of Malcolm X on May 19th. Organizers say it's the perfect time to spotlight the woman who first shaped his vision.
Globally, the significance of who he is being recognized close to his 100th anniversary, and so that presented the unique opportunity to help uplift the legacy of the woman who really helped started it all by their rich history and their bloodlines.
A press conference to mark the occasion is planned for this Thursday, May 15th at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Organizers say this is more than a ceremony. It's a start of deeper ties between Grenada and the global African diaspora.
And coming up, Oscar Alexander crowned Miss Upper Level Queen of Queens 2025. More news to come, so stay with us.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinaire Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products, including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain-on-blocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to all plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate mom, because to us, she's so much more.
ACB, SME, start, manage, expand. Don't call me small. I'm dreaming big. I'm gonna have it all. ACB, SME, start, manage, expand. They came on all my competition, got the whole bag's attention. ACB, best financial solution. My business has a good reputation.
Ready for success? Call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. Start, manage, expand your business today.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bets, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Grenada, the time has come. It's the big showdown in the first ever Classic Lighted and the Communal Credit Union Invitational 2025. Come witness the Royal Grenada Police Force and His Majesty's prison officers take on the nation's busmen and women in an epic 4x1 relay. Then it's Flow versus DG Sal. And don't miss out, Nawasa, who will be flooding Grenlec in the ultimate relay. All this and more, May 17th and 18th. At the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Adults $30, children $15. Season passes are available. It's a showdown like no other. Be there.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, fully 1 week. Nah, telling you. You didn't pass the dragon. Hello. You see that? About 10, let them make a hard day, man. Me a 38, man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run, man. That easy. No, what? Nice. Yeah. You number 1. Yeah, me too, man.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Classcoat, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm committed to us?
She made me feel some measure of warmth, maybe even passion.
If I decide to do this, I'll be doing it for you, no one else.
Labukan presents Rivals, playing at Labukan Creative Center, GCNA Complex, all weekends in May, Saturdays 8 p.m., Sundays 6 p.m., and Deluxe Cinema Grenville, Saturday, June 7, 8 p.m. Tickets from Grenadian Optical, Labukan, St. Andrews Pharmacy, and Go to Fit at $75. Sponsors Bryden & Miners Limited, Knights Auto, Sandals, GBN, Republic Bank, Thrios Auto, Co-op Bank, and Huggins. It's Rivals by Francis Urias Peters. Don't you miss it.
You better come back, boy. You better come back.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
Elegance, empowerment, and unshakable confidence lit up the stage as the 2025 Miss Upper Level Queen of Queens was crowned in a dazzling celebration of motherhood. Rena Pierre-Thomas brings you the story.
The judge's decision is final. Miss Upper Level Queen of Queens 2025 is Astra Alexander, proudly representing Cook Hill Road, Grenville, St. Andrew. Alexander secured the crown with over 200 points and also claimed the title of Best Sportswear. She won $1,000 in cash, compliments Upper Level promotion, a table set compliments classic furniture, and a trip to St. Lucia compliments Wagiti promotion. Speaking to our news team after her victory, the newly crowned queen said she wasn't surprised by the outcome as she came prepared to give her best, enjoy the experience, and walk away with the crown.
I don't know, I'm feeling proud, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling, overwhelmed.
Well, you me, how do you feel about your performance?
My performance was great from start to finish. Well, I would like to tell them, I would like to encourage them to take part in the Mother's Day Queen Show. It's fun, it's laughter. After all, we are mothers.
Just 2 points behind Alexander was first runner-up Alana Mason of Harford Village. Mason impressed the judges and the audience alike, capturing titles for Best Introduction, Best Casual Wear, Best Evening Wear, and Best Interview. She walked away with a day pass for two at Kalinago Beach Resort, $800 in cash, and a table set. Third place was Miss Telescope Patricia Charles, who stood out in the talent segment and claimed the Best Talent Award. She won $600 in cash and a weekend for two at Valley Breeze Guest House.
Well, I think I did a pretty good job. I came out and I showcased my talent and I gave it my all. I don't know, as I said, the judge's decision is final and I congratulate Miss Astra Alexander on her win.
I'm very honored to be that part. I did my best, I come out to have fun, and I did that, so I'm very appreciative with the placement. The judges are final, and so be I.
The remaining three contestants won $250 in cash. The annual Mother's Day Queen Show continues to be one of the most anticipated events on the calendar, and this year was no exception. Here's a glimpse of what the remaining three contestants brought to the stage.
Smell some spice and free up your mind. You know, see how we do. A gem in the Caribbean so unique. Yeah, fantastic. Scenery so sweep you off your feet. Yeah, fantastic. Friendliest people you'll ever.
In everything you do, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, judges, with pride in my heart and dreams in my eyes, I am contestant number 5, Amanda Aberdeen, representing one of the most popular village, La Poterie, St. Andrew.
The Upper Level Mother's Day Queen Show was founded by the late Peter Bain as a celebration of mothers and their diverse talents. Today, his legacy lives on through his wife, Miss Nola Bain, who is committed to giving back to the community. She pledged to donate a portion of this year's proceeds to the Kajona Home for the Aged in St. Andrew. Rena Thomas, GBN News.
Police have charged St. Patrick resident Yakuba Toussaint with the offense of possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. These charges were brought against Mr. Toussaint after one Glock pistol, along with 2 magazines and 20 rounds of ammunition, were found in his possession during an operation conducted by police on Saturday, the 10th of May at Pearls, St. Andrew. Toussaint is a 40-year-old farmer from River Sally, and he appeared at the Grenville Magistrates Court Monday morning, where the following sentences were handed down to him. For the possession of a firearm, he was fined $15,000 to be paid in 8 months. In default, 18 months imprisonment. For possession of ammunition, Toussaint was fined $6,000 to be paid in 14 months, in default of which he will face 12 months imprisonment. Additionally, a suspended sentence of 2 years in prison was imposed, which means Mr. Toussaint must refrain from committing any offenses within 2 years. In default, he will face 2 years imprisonment. Meanwhile, in a separate operation conducted on Sunday, May the 11th at River Sally St. Patrick, officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force discovered and seized one black M14 rifle, one AKS rifle, one 38mm revolver, and one silver and black 22mm revolver. According to a police report, no one was arrested. Stay with us. We'll have sports and international news right after the break.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches, but the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
And good evening, sports fans. Cyprian Forsyth and Javed Hazard hammered out dazzling half-centuries to lead the upsetters to victory over power hitters in the final of the GCA NLA T20 Championship. The game was played at Progress Park over the weekend. Batting first, power hitters led by Shondell Regis' 36 wrapped up a spirited 168 for 5 from their allotted 20 overs. Kirsten Murray, 35 from 19, and Alfred Bishop, 25 from 17 balls were the other main contributors. Enoch Toussaint returned figures of 2 for 20. In response, upsetters would reach 173 for the loss of 3 wickets with 3 overs to spare. Forsyth carved out a majestic 70 from 40 balls with Hazard supporting him with a 41-ball 56 run. Kurt Murray bagged 1 for 29. Forsyth was the man of the match, and Shondell Regis was the top scorer for the tournament with 267 runs at an average of 66.75. IPL 2025 will resume on May 17th and end on June 3rd as the BCCI announced a revised schedule on Monday. The remainder of the tournament, which was suspended on May 9th for a week due to cross-border tensions between India and Pakistan, will be played at 6 venues: Bengaluru, Jaipur, Delhi, Lucknow, Mumbai, and Ahmedabad. The venues for the playoffs will be announced later, but they will be played on the following dates: Qualifier 1 on May 29th, the Eliminator on May 30th, Qualifier 2 on June 1st, and the final on June 3rd. A total of 17 matches will be played, with 2 doubleheaders which will be played on 2 Sundays. The revised schedule features 13 league games and 4 playoffs. The match will then resume with the tournament on May 17th and will be played between Royal Challengers Bengaluru and Kolkata Knight Riders in Bengaluru. The official release said the BCCI held, quote, extensive consultations with government and security agencies and with all the key stakeholders before finalizing the resumption of the tournament. The delay of the IPL, which was originally scheduled to end on May 25th in Kolkata, means it will now coincide with the entire ODI series between England and West Indies, starting on May 29th in Birmingham and ending on June 3rd at the Oval. It will lead to a clash for the West Indies players, Romario Shepherd, Shamar Joseph, and Sherfane Rutherford, all picked in the ODI squad. England have not named their squad yet, but the players likely to be affected are Joss Butler, Phil Salt, Jacob Bethel, Liam Livingstone, Will Jacks, and Reece Topley, depending on which teams make the playoffs, of course. And that's what's been happening in sports. And now for a look at what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. We start off in Trinidad and Tobago, where the Director of Public Prosecution has cleared former Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher of any criminal wrongdoing. This follows an investigation into the issuance of a firearm import permit.
It was a case that drew national attention. The country's top cop under investigation for allegedly misusing her authority to approve the importation of 2 high-powered rifles and accessories, including sound suppressors. The permit was granted to a licensed firearm dealer, but the Strategic Services Agency, a state body, was the intended end user, purportedly for operational and training use. But the question investigators had to answer: did Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher act improperly or even illegally in granting that permit? Well, according to a media release on Saturday evening from the Director of Public Prosecutions, Roger Gaspard, the evidence was not enough to lead to criminal misconduct. The press release stated that the DPP was presented with a substantial file containing evidence which raised concern of the Commissioner of Police's performance of her due diligence functions. It also stated that while this, coupled with her granting of the firearm import permit, was sufficient to lead to her arrest as a suspect, the evidence presented does not reach the required threshold so as to lead to a criminal charge. The DPP added that a mistake, even a serious one, will not suffice, noting that the threshold is a high one, requiring conduct so far below acceptable standards to amount to an abuse of the public's trust. Mr. Gaspard acknowledged that the Commissioner's actions raised serious questions about due diligence, but emphasized that there was no evidence of corruption or improper motive, adding that he is of the view that there is no realistic prospect of a conviction for the offense of misbehavior in public office or for any offense. Meanwhile, the current Acting Commissioner of Police, Junior Benjamin, welcomed the decision, calling it a clear and unequivocal decision by the DPP. He stated that the DPP applied the full code test, which evaluates the evidential and public interest stages, and concluded that there was no realistic prospect of conviction for any offense. Further, he said that no improper motives or unlawful considerations were found in the Commissioner's actions and confirmed that the matter will not proceed further. Sonolala, TTT News.
China and the United States say they've made progress at trade talks between the two countries in Switzerland.
Well, there were a couple of major messages from the US side, essentially saying that the impacts of the tariffs we saw rise as high as 145% would not yet have been felt by the economies of both countries, though of course US businesses might seek to disagree with that statement. The other message from the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was that this was all part of a strategic rebalancing of trade between the US and China. This was all part of the plan. There had been a process, and there would now be a mechanism in place. That is some of the detail coming out of this morning's statement, is that there will now be repeated talks between the US and China, led by Bessent and the US Trade Representative Jameson Greer, opposite He Lifeng, the Vice Premier for Economic Affairs based out of Beijing. Those talks will take place, we're told, either in the US or China, or potentially a third country, which could include Switzerland. Both sides very grateful, they said, to the Swiss for facilitating this dialogue over the course of the weekend.
Well, just before 3 p.m. local time here in China, we had a joint statement description released by Chinese state media Xinhua, and that really reflected a lot of this positive sentiment, these positive messages that we're hearing from the White House. It said that China recognizes the importance of sustainable, long-term, mutually beneficial trade relations, that these consultations are the way to resolve issues of concern, and that these will continue with a spirit of mutual openness, cooperation, and mutual respect. So I think definitely we're seeing here this firmest signal from Beijing that they're sincerely working to really dial back some of those fiery tensions that we've seen that were really sparked since the beginning of Trump's second term, that China is sincere about resolving this trade war, that it does not want to continue this tit-for-tat, these tit-for-tat moves that would really lead to mutually assured economic damage, if not economic destruction.
That's what's been happening around the region and the wider globe today. And now for a recap of the night's top headlines. Grenada's safety protection system examined. Sexual offense brochure launched as part of a public education campaign to raise awareness about sexual offenses. Grenada urged to reform criminal code to legalize abortion. And the United States reactivates 2 key emergency support programs aimed at bolstering disaster preparedness and response across the Caribbean. And in regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's former police commissioner cleared following firearm permit probe. Internationally, U.S. and China reach agreement to cut tariffs. In sports, upsetters crowned champions of GCA NLA T20 Championship. If you missed any part of this newscast, there'll be a rebroadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Stasia Blake, and that's the news. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow night.